Today I want to answer the question, who in the Bible has the best drip? For those of you who might be older, drip just means attire or outfit. Of all the pharaohs and kings that we read about in the Bible, the title of best dressed definitely belongs to Aaron. I mean, King Solomon had fine robes and jewelry, with a well-groomed beard and insignia rings made to keep away demons. But Aaron, the elder brother of Moses, definitely takes the cake. Let's start with a little background on who he was and how he ended up with such an iconic outfit. As stated, Aaron was the elder brother of Moses, who during the time of the Hebrew enslavement in Egypt lived in the northern delta region called Goshen, along with his mother Jochebed and sister Miriam. During the time of Aaron's childhood, the Pharaoh of Egypt grew concerned with the increasing population of the Hebrew people and feared that they would taint the Egyptian lineage. An order was made to drown all newborn Israelite boys to halt future generations from having more kids. Aaron, being 3 years older than Moses, was unaffected. But, as we all know, Moses was sent down the Nile in a basket by his mother to escape the fate of the other children. When Moses received the commandments on the mountain, the people needed a trustworthy confidant to be the protector of them, so Aaron was chosen to be the first high priest of the ark. Let's read some verses from Exodus to get a better understanding of how this all played out. Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and the 70 elders of Israel went up and saw the God of Israel. Under his feet was something like a pavement made of lapis lazuli, as bright blue as the sky. But God did not raise his hand against these leaders of the Israelites. They saw God, and they ate and drank. The Lord said to Moses, "Come up to me on the mountain and stay there, and I will give you the tablets of stone with the law and commandments I have written for their instruction." Then Moses set out with Joshua at his side, and Moses went up to the mountain of God. He said to the elders, "Wait here for us until we come back to you. Aaron and Hur are with you, and anyone involved in a dispute can go to them. Have Aaron your brother brought to you from among the Israelites, along with his sons Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar, so they may serve me as priests. Make sacred garments for your brother Aaron to give him dignity and honor. Tell all the skilled workers to whom I have given wisdom in such matters that they are to make garments for Aaron, for his consecration, so he may serve me as a priest. These are the garments they are to make: a breastpiece, an ephod, a robe, a woven tunic, a turban, and a sash. They are to make these sacred garments for your brother Aaron and his sons, so they may serve me as priests. Have them use gold and blue and purple and scarlet yarn, and a fine linen." So basically, not only did God command Aaron and his sons to become priests, but God picked out their outfits. And that is precisely why Aaron has earned the title for best dressed person ever, because God picked out his outfit. But what exactly was his outfit, and what is the significance of its different parts? First, we'll look at the ephod. An ephod is a traditional garment worn by the leaders of the Israelite community. It is typically worn around the waist and appears almost as an apron with shoulder guards at the top. Many speculators believe the modern-day aprons worn by Freemasons are in accordance with this article of clothing. In Exodus 28, the style and importance is explained. Make the ephod of gold and of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and of finely twisted linen, the work of skilled hands. It is to have 2 shoulder pieces attached to 2 of its corners so it can be fastened. Take 2 onyx stones and engrave them the names of the sons of Israel, in order of their birth, 6 names on one stone and the remaining 6 on the other. Engrave the names of the sons of Israel on the 2 stones the way a gem cutter engraves a seal. Then mount the stones on gold filigree settings, and fasten them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod, as memorial stones for the sons of Israel. Aaron is to bear the names on his shoulders as a memorial before the Lord. Make gold filigree settings and 2 braided chains of pure gold, like a rope, and attach the chains to the settings. The next piece of the high priest attire is the robe, which was worn underneath the ephod. Make the robe of the ephod entirely of blue cloth, with an opening for the head in its center. There shall be a woven edge like a collar around its opening, so that it will not tear. Make pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn around the hem of the robe, with gold bells between them. The gold bells and the pomegranates are to alternate around the hem of the robe. Aaron must wear it when he ministers. The sound of the bells will be heard when he enters the holy place before the Lord, and when he comes out, so that he will not die. The bells were also an addition that allowed passers-by to bow in reverence to their high priest. I can only imagine the feeling one must have had while praying in the temple of the covenant and hearing each footstep as the high priest made his way to the ark and began his daily ritual. The priests also wore a white turban, not like the turban you typically see in the Middle East and Asia today, but more of the shape of a chef's hat. A metal plate engraved with the words, "Holy to the Lord," was also attached to the forehead area of the turban, so that, in the words of Exodus, he will bear the guilt involved in the sacred gifts the Israelites consecrate. Whatever their gifts may be, it will be on Aaron's forehead continually, so that they will be acceptable to the Lord. Weave the tunic of fine linen and make the turban of fine linen. The sash is to be the work of an embroiderer. Make tunics, sashes, and caps for Aaron's sons to give them dignity and honor. After you put these clothes on your brother Aaron and his sons, anoint and ordain them. Consecrate them so they may serve me as priests. The All-Being repeatedly states in his demands for these garments that Aaron and the other high priests shall wear these garments so they may not die. This is because, at least according to theory, that those who are not properly clothed while experiencing the power of the covenant would be destroyed immediately. I guess Indiana Jones got that part correct. The final piece of Aaron's garment that I wanted to talk about, the whole reason why I wanted to create this video in the first place, is Aaron's breastplate. See, in modern Freemasonry, there is a degree within the York Rite that is represented by the image of the breastplate, and I always wondered what purpose it served. I also happened to come across another way that this piece of religious armor relates to modern-day society, and it may come as a shock to you. Again, in Exodus 28, the Lord said, "Fashion a breastpiece for making decisions, the work of skilled hands. Make it like the ephod, of gold and of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and of finely twisted linen. It is to be square, a span long and a span wide, and folded double. Then mount 4 rows of precious stones on it. The first row shall be carnelian, chrysolite, and beryl. The second row shall be turquoise, lapis lazuli, and emerald. The third row shall be jacinth, agate, and amethyst, and the fourth row shall be topaz, onyx, and jasper. Mount them in gold filigree settings. They are to be 12 stones, one for each of the names of the sons of Israel, each engraved like a seal with the name of one of the 12 tribes. Whenever Aaron enters the holy place, he will bear the names of the sons of Israel over his heart on the breastpiece, of decisions as continuing memorial before the Lord. Also, put the Urim and Thummim on the breastpiece, so they may be over Aaron's heart whenever he enters the presence of the Lord. Thus, Aaron will always bear the means of making decisions for the Israelites over his heart before the Lord. Each of the stones represents a color or aspect to each of the 12 tribes of Israel. According to the Christian Bible, the stones in the first row were sardius or carnelian, representing Reuben, topaz representing Simeon, carbuncle or garnet for Dan. In the second row, emerald for Levi, sapphire for Issachar, and diamond for Simeon. The third row is ligure or lapis lazuli for Judah, agate for Naphtali, amethyst for Gad, and in the fourth row is beryl or aquamarine for Joseph, onyx for Zabulon, and jasper for Benjamin. What is particularly interesting is that there have been several interpretations that have existed throughout history, which includes changes by the Romans, Arabs, Russians, and even Isidore, Bishop of Seville. But the actual interesting factoid about Aaron's blingy breastplate is its ties to modern-day jewelry. There were 4 rows of 3 stones, which, if you can figure out basic math, makes 12. 12 stones, 12 months. Aaron's breastplate is actually the inspiration behind the modern-day trend of birthstones. Well, that and the early 20th century scheme created by jewelers to sell more stones because the common public wasn't buying enough of them, thus creating demand for priorly unsaleable goods. Never mind. The point is, Aaron's outfit was handpicked by God. It had gemstones on it, and every part had a purpose that had to do with the continuance of God's people in Egypt and beyond. And for that, I'm giving the Best Dressed Person Ever award to Aaron, the High Priest of the Ark of the Covenant. Also, it had little bells on it, so yeah. My birthstone is ruby. What's yours? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I want to thank you for joining us on another edition of the Eleusinian Society.